If you watched my series on the Melungeons, you might be wondering, how would I know if I were one? Or if somehow that history would even show up in your DNA. Here's the thing, there isn't a single Melungeon gene. They weren't a separate ethnic group, they were families who blended out of necessity when the world around them refused to make room for them. And that's what makes their DNA so fascinating. It's like a time capsule preserved by isolation. Inside it is a story of early America, Europeans, Africans, and Native peoples whose bloodlines came together generations before the country even existed. When researchers tested known Melungeon families, the pattern they found looked like this. Western European haplogroups, especially R1b on the paternal side, common in the British Isles and France. Sub-Saharan African maternal lines, mostly L2 and L3, tracing back to coastal West Africa. Native American maternal lineages, like haplogroups A, C, and even X, connected to southeastern tribes. Smaller traces of Mediterranean or Middle Eastern haplogroups, J and E1B1B, found in Southern Europe and North Africa. So, their DNA isn't one story, it's several, all happening at once. It reflects what early colonial America actually looked like. Europeans, Africans, and indigenous peoples already living, working, and forming families together long before racial laws tried to separate them and long before any of this happened. And tucked within that mix, some of those maternal haplogroups, especially AC and X, tell an even older story. They trace back to Central Asia and Siberia from ancient peoples who migrated into the Americas thousands of years ago. So when scientists see them in Melungeon descendants, they're not just seeing colonial history, they're seeing deep human history preserved in one isolated community. And that's really rare because of genocide, forced relocation, and centuries of erasure. Native American DNA is still profoundly underrepresented and understudied in genetic research. So the fact that those lineages survived within this community alongside the European, African, and Mediterranean ones is scientifically and culturally remarkable. It's proof that this has always been more complex, more mixed, and more human than the history books ever admitted. So here are some clues that you might share the same ancestry. Your family has deep roots in eastern Tennessee, southwest Virginia, or eastern Kentucky. You carry one of the classic surnames, Goins, Collins, Gibson, Bunch, Mullins, or Minor. Your DNA results show a mix of Western European, West African, Native American, and Southern European or Middle Eastern ancestry. And your family stories or appearance never quite fit one simple category. That's often where this kind of history hides. If that sounds familiar, you can dig deeper. Family Tree DNA runs the Melungeon DNA Project. 23andMe and Ancestry DNA show the broader ancestry breakdown and cousin matches. And GED Match lets you cross-compare results from multiple sites, sometimes even linking directly to confirmed Melungeon descendants. You can't really easily test for Melungeon as a category. You're not going to see it on your DNA results. But if your DNA carries that same rare blend, European, African, Native, and Mediterranean, and your family came from those mountain counties, you might be connected to one of the most complex, misunderstood, and resilient stories in American history.